Go 1000cc sprint race. So this was the SuperStock 1000, again, second round of PanAmerican Superbike. This was SuperStock 1000 race. I'm the amateur class, and kind of right away my strategy going out here was I had the 600 SuperStock race before this one. Then there was another race, so I got a little bit of a break, which was nice, and then it was this one. So I actually had kind of figured out a little bit about the dry line going around the track. I at least knew what I was looking for going into this race. So my strategy for this one was, let's try to get out in front as quick as possible, or get as high up in the order as quick as possible early on, and just try to get a couple good laps in before everyone else figures out what the dry line is. So that was my strategy going into this one. And then the other thing was, I was still kind of a little bit rattled from the last race. I kept having kind of moments on the front and the rear, and just grip issues, so I wasn't sure quite. I felt like when I came back into the pits on that one, I checked pressures and they weren't crazy far off, but it was probably a pound and a half, maybe higher than I'd really like to see it on the reins. So I dropped it down a little bit. I had pulled pretty much all the preload out for the rain in the last one as well. I think I added back in like one or half a turn of preload to the rear. I still wanted it to kind of transfer the weight pretty significantly there, but felt like I needed a little bit more in the rear. I think that ended up helping some, but again, not much there. This is the warm-up lap, and I actually was kind of almost intentionally not going quick on this one. I said I don't really need to heat up the rain tires, and my only strategy here was to try to get out in front, because I knew the line through here early, so I didn't want to give up too many secrets early on. But yeah, we'll see how we do getting off the line in the rain with the big boy toys. There's Keith in front of me. He was pitted next to me. Good times all weekend. Again, for this race, I was able to get third place qualifying because I think some people dropped out because of the rain. So that bumped me up from the original kind of fourth place in the Grand Course up to the third place in the sprint here. So that was exciting. Good looking Ducati behind me over there. That bike sounded so good. Alright, here we go. At least I had the pin lock in for this one, so I can finally see. Last race I did. Lights out. Man, that guy got a crazy start on that one. But, other than him, I kept my kind of position going off, so I felt like I got a decent start off of that one, I felt like. And then again, like he's got the 1000, he's a little bit slower to get on the power there. I kind of felt like I knew how much grip I had, so I was like, let's get on this thing quick. I felt like I kind of knew how much I could break into this one too, so I was carrying a little bit more speed there. about equal there. Braking into it, not gaining much time there. But I'm still up on him, so this is where we can really start to wind the power out. I was waiting to see if the thousands were going to get me, and then, you know, I was just like, okay, I'll take the outside there. Wasn't expecting that. He gets on the brakes pretty early, and that's where I already knew. I was like, I'm not braking there. I just kind of roll off a little bit, get the bike straight up before that puddle, back on it, and then at this point I was like, what is going on? I am in first place right now. I was not expecting this, but I was like, whatever, alright, let's do this. Head down, you know the line. Can't hold this off forever, but let's see if we can put a little bit of a gap there and do it. Again, going kind of way wide in that turn, trying to stay on the dry line there. Can't get close to that apex. Wind it up a little bit, get some weight on the front, and then back on the gas. Try to push that bike up away from you and get it straight up as much as possible through those puddles. On the gas. And then the other thing I learned from the last race was how hard you could brake here in the turn one. And I feel like you could brake pretty hard into it. So I felt like I probably kept some people off that way for a little bit at least. And then, yeah, brake hard, get over, start to wind out the gas. And again, the sprint before this, I was having a couple moments on the rear, kind of winding out the power there, but as long as you know that's the spot, you can be careful, and really modulate it going out. Gotta stay wide off those apexes, which is good, because you can't hit apexes anyways. Try not to tip in too early here. Stay off it. Try to stay off those kind of snakes in the middle. And just start winding it out. There, grab another gear. Just roll off a little bit, tip in. Quickly get the bike up straight as much as possible, tip back in the other way, try to get a little bit of power out, but then this part was weird, trying to find the kind of dodging puddles through the middle there. Then I cut straight across, there wasn't a great line there, but you know, gotta keep the tires cool anyways, make sure they're getting some puddles on them. Wide through that one, out around those, kind of sneak in behind those two right there. A little bit of a dry patch out there. And then just trying to feel out as those kind of run through those puddles and make sure you got a grip there. Into a tuck, hard on the brakes, and it's another entry to turn one without getting gapped by the 1000, so that was good. You can hear me really on that clutch, trying to get that rear to settle down. I was actually, I think, overall faster on this 1000 race than I was on the 601 in kind of roughly the same conditions. I don't know that it dried out too much, at least in areas where it really mattered to make much of a lap time difference. Maybe it did. I felt like mostly I was just kind of shook off a little bit of the lack of confidence coming out of that first wet race, and a little bit of adrenaline from being in first right now. Still, really wasn't sure what that was about. Trying to find that dry line through there. Pretty late getting on the power, but trying to be careful. Stay tucked. Still hear that rear hopping around on those downshifts. Working on it, getting better, but still got some work to do. There you can see I'm kind of looking back, wondering where is everyone? This is getting a little suspicious for me. Here I am trying to really get off as much as possible. Get that bike straight up. Wide, way too wide there. I look behind. I think I can hear someone a little bit, so I know someone's coming up, so starting to check behind. Big puddles. Straight. Let's see if anyone catches us here. I think you can almost hear a bike. I kind of look behind a little bit, and there he goes. Wasted no time getting past me. You can see me just wishing for more power there. Just some hopes and dreams that that thing will somehow magically get a few more horsepower, but it ends up causing me to go wide. Pay attention to what you're doing. I'm kind of, because I went wide there, I wasn't carrying as much speed, and then you're kind of really not in the right gear there on the power band. He goes a bit wide as well, but not too bad. You see the cut back there. I was at this point able to kind of look to my left a little bit and see who else was coming. And there, I don't know how close the person was behind us. I don't think it was super close though. But he's obviously starting to pull away from me. I'm kind of not sure if I can do it. This, yeah, went way too wide there, and then you get on those kind of that line in the middle of the pavement, like it's sketchy in the rain. I did not like the feeling of that line if you hit it in the rain. I'm trying to carry some speed through here. But man, I'm not catching up to him. Try to stay wide so you can get through those puddles. This one you can take fairly tight as long as you get up straight there. Man, he is already his corners ahead of me at this point. Really just putting the gap on me. But I mean, from his point of view, I mean, it's good racing. Wind it out here. White flag's out. He is nowhere to be found. I mean, you can kind of see him way up there, but unless something happens, there's no way I'm catching him. I did not have that much extra pace in me. But you know, at the same time as I'm going around this one, I'm just thinking, hey, keep this thing up, don't crash. You see me looking back over here. I'm trying to check and see, like, is there anyone else close by? Do I gotta, you know, keep the throttle down here, or can I kind of just ride this one out and bring it home? You know, obviously, I'm still trying to, you know, have some pace to me. Also, because you know, you never know what's going to happen up front. If he runs wide or something, you may get another chance. But you know, it would take a pretty big mistake on his part at this point. Yeah, I mean, you can't even see where he went. He took off. Last couple corners, coming up on some traffic, but doesn't look like it's gonna be a problem because we are on the last lap. I don't hear anyone, I don't see anyone. All I know is there's only one other person in front of me, so I'm pretty happy right now. I kind of almost forgotten at this point. I was like, there couldn't be someone else up there, right? But no, I see the checkered flag, get in a tuck, make sure no one passes, and that's it.